Nurk not playing today might have shown us something that we would have never seen, right? And so now you got another tool in the toolbox, all because Nurk needed another day. Thaddeus Young, bro, there was a rebound. Defensive rebound in the fourth quarter.
Like jumped over.
Yes.
Aaron Gordon.
He's out of position. Right. He's out of position. Aaron Gordon's one of the most athletic dudes in the world. There's no way on God's green earth he's supposed to get that rebound. And he's out of position. He out jumps over his shoulder and snatches it. 9 rebounds, 4 offensive. Like, that's the type of stuff that leads to big time basketball wins and potential playoff success. And so now I think Frank got a conundrum. I'm telling you right now, I think Frank gonna lose some sleep tonight.
As he should.
He should. You don't think so?
No, I think he should go to bed and wake up and say Thad Young needs minutes, because we should have seen him way sooner than this, way more often than we have. Like, if he played 19 minutes his first game, and then since then it's been like 19 minutes total until tonight when they had to like break glass in case of emergency. So like, we saw the passing, we saw the effort on the glass again. His first game he had 8 rebounds off the bench. Tonight he had 9 in limited minutes. Like, he's a guy that can help you. No, he's not the best finisher, but he did well tonight. He made Jokic work defensively, and his passing in the short roll helps him as a connector. Like, he brings a different element. And if the Eubanks minutes aren't going to go well, which in some matchups they're just not, you need to be able to have Thad comfortable with the guys on the floor. He looked really comfortable tonight, but you need to get him more experience with this team. And I hope that this is kind of the first step to him cementing a spot in the rotation.
If Jusuf isn't in against OKC, I start Thad, because Thad gives you a lot of what Nurkic gives you in terms of the passing, hitting the glass hard. I think it keeps you feeling more like your normal offense with your starters. And if you believe Drew is the guy that needs to be the bench player and the backup and figure that out still work on that, then keep him in that situation. Give Thad that opportunity. See how he does in that spot. I'd like that. And then he does deserve more minutes, especially, I mean, to me, I look at it and I go, I'd probably play him over Eubanks, but I'm not paid millions of dollars to be a head coach. And Frank's told us, no, Drew was ahead of him in the rotation. And that's just the way it is. But I would go that way, because he feels like he fits a lot more of what Nurk tends to do. And it felt like the ball started moving really well when Thad was in there with a lot of those starters. And that's important early on, because against OKC, against the Pelicans, you can't afford to fall behind, right? And so that's why I would look at it if Nurk's still out.
I'm also very confused as to what exactly it is, or why Frank didn't want to give him more opportunities here, especially when he first joined the team, because we were looking at the dates of when he got his first opportunity, and it was like, what, 2-3 days after he had joined the team? So a very, very short window of time to get up to speed with anything. Granted, he is a vet, he's 35 years old, but I feel like if that wasn't a very pretty game for him, he deserves a second chance. Especially after maybe having a week or 2 or 3 to figure things out with the team.
100%.
So it's confusing, because you would assume that maybe it's something we're not seeing behind the scenes. Maybe it's not meshing or gelling correctly, but looked pretty good tonight.
Was it more about Drew Eubanks than it ever was about Thad Young?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, it was more Frank knowing that he was likely going to need Drew.
He didn't want to crush that spirit.
Did not want to take what last confidence that man may have had when he was going through that bad stretch. I mean, because sometimes you got to play psychologist as a coach or a manager and do things that help build that confidence, help build self-belief. I wonder if that's what this has always been more about, because I don't think you can say that I mean, we know Thad Young works hard. That's never been a knock on him since he's been in the league. So I think it's more that.
You know, I think it's definitely that. And I think Frank has told us that. I mean, here's the thing. As a coach, you're with these guys from training camp. And so you have a lot of sweat equity behind the scenes, in games, in the locker room that Drew Eubanks has brought to the table. You bring a new guy in, your starting spot's already solidified. And Drew has been your backup guy. And then you at that same moment, you're experiencing this Bobo experiment too, right? So it was just like shit timing. And I think at that point, you kind of want to give Drew the benefit of the doubt to fight his way out of it. But now, again, the blessing, this is the beauty of basketball. And I always say this, when there's an injury, blessings in disguise. Because here's what happened tonight. We were hoping that Nurk would play, but Nurk doesn't play. Now, I can make an argument that Nurk not playing today might have shown us something that we would have never seen, right? And so now you got another tool in the toolbox, all because Nurk needed another day. And so, yeah, I right now, I think Eubanks was ahead of him, rightfully so. But now I think you're getting to the point where you're saying, damn, can this guy push you in those spots? And then to Friday's point, I would play him against Chet, because Chet is a face-up guy, and Thad is in your face Swiss Army knife defender. He can switch everything, he can guard. So I would absolutely, even though there's a height deviation, I would definitely put him in there against Chet and let him give him hell.
Go ahead.
It's where we were a couple weeks ago when we just wanted him to get a chance. Like I'm not expecting Frank to come out here in his post-game comments and say, well, Thad had a really good game, so he's officially passed Eubanks in the rotation.
No. Right.
I'm not expecting him to do anything like that. He's probably going to come out and say, Thad was great for us. We knew we could rely on him because they have said we trust him if we need to turn to him, and tonight they needed to do that. So I'm sure he's going to take that angle of, we needed him tonight. He stepped up, but our rotation is what it is. So I want to caution people against thinking that this changes everything. But I just want to see him get a chance to build on it. This is supposed to kind of crack open the door. I want to see him continue to be able to open the door instead of, okay, that was nice, now the door's closed again.
That's fact.
Well, especially because if you do have to turn to him in an important situation, whether that's due to injury or maybe Eubanks is just struggling really bad one night, he's got more confidence too.
Yeah.
It's a balancing game when it comes to playing the confidence level kind of game here.
Yeah, I mean, it helps that Thad is a vet. He understands, that he just has to be ready at any given point. But now foul trouble, injury, whatever the case may be, change of pace that you need in a certain matchup, you have more confidence in him. Teammates have more, and even he knows that, okay, I can go out there like you're saying, Lindsay. So there's nothing but positive on that front, because to your point, it is another option that you have now, and you're going to have to dig deep. I mean, we saw it in the playoff run to the finals where basically every big got hurt except for Frank there in the finals. It was like, hey, good luck, buddy.
Good luck against Giannis.
Yeah, seriously.
Don't die. Like, that was basically what it is. Well, you've got depth, and that's an important thing.